So I decided to take this week's YouTube video outside. It is quite a windy day, so I'm hoping that the wind does not pick up too much, but I think this is episode 10 of my YouTube series, Training for a 3:20 London Marathon. We just did peak week and I want to talk about it. As always, we always talk about each session, but I mainly focus on the long run as well as my interval session. Now, I am not technically in the taper yet. I know that a load of people are, but again, I want to reiterate that like my training is my training and you do you and focus on your own training. This past weekend, I joined Tracksmith for my 22-mile long run, which was super fun. I have been wanting to go to Tracksmith for quite a while. A lot of people that I know, people that I see online go to Tracksmith here in London. I've heard such good things about their 100 Days to London program around like just counting down to the London Marathon. I wanted to come and partake in one of the runs. This is me just like really hoping that you can hear me. I really enjoyed it. We did a 22-mile long run previewing the course of the London Marathon for this year. Genuinely, I went this weekend and had the best time. They are such lovely people. I really enjoyed the fact that A, they have pace groups, B, they're just all around lovely people, and each group has a pacer that will stick with the front and the back of the pack, and they're just all around really friendly, really kind. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it was a 22-mile long run previewing the course of the London Marathon, which obviously gets you in all of the feels. I'll share some clips. I didn't take too many because I was just focused and distracted by like the friends that I was running with and just having a really good time.
Are the dogs. What you're not doing on today, so you're going to go over Tapering and yeah, next week is dog owners. Like, I will know all of the dogs.
I'm about halfway running through Tower Bridge. I'm like 14 and a half miles in.
I take a few.
Okay. Don't want to look too sweaty, okay?
Yes, you get
This is so cool.
So when you get home, whack that in there, it's going to come out, name in there, and I'm going to stamp you for week 12.
Oh.
Red or blue?
It's both the colors, isn't it? Red. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's going to come out very soon.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, like I said, this just got me in all the feels for London Marathon, like just arriving to Blackheath and like Greenwich and that sort of area and knowing that like that's going to be my start line. I actually just received in my email yesterday my official bib number, my start time, my wave, my color, everything. I'm going to put it on the screen because I can't remember it off the top of my head, but I believe that I'm the third wave, which can I just say is insane. Like being someone who ran her first marathon in 5.5 hours and now here I am having gotten a good for age, and I just feel like I just cannot believe that this is truly going to be like such an incredible experience, and I'm really excited to experience like what it will be like to run like more at the beginning of the pack rather than like somewhere in the middle or like those later packs. That was my 22-mile long run. That brought me to 50 miles for the week, and I believe in last week's video for my series I spoke about the interval session that I did that week for peak week, so I won't go into that in this video. Overall, it felt really good. It was the first long run in a long time where I didn't have marathon pace, so I thought it was perfect. Go and join a club and just run with people because who wants to run 22 miles by themselves on a Sunday? And I will definitely be back. I definitely want to go and get a poster just like I did at Chicago Marathon. Share a photo of getting that at Chicago. That was really cool and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm just getting in the feels and really excited. Race week is almost here, so let's talk about this past week's track session. This past week I did a track interval session on some pretty tired legs. I believe it was 8 by 600 meters. I will share the clips. Hey, good morning, happy Tuesday. We are just finishing the 2-mile warm-up, then we will head to the track that's just behind us for 8 by 600 meters with a 200-meter recovery. My legs are so we'll see how it goes, and we'll finish with a 2-mile cool down. All right, we started off strong. We did 6:25, then 6:35, 6:44, and then I put the top on and we did 6:40, but Now we've got 4 more. I'm literally walking. I lost it the last 4. I'm gonna put the splits on the screen. So I'm just gonna get dressed and cool down, but that was really hard. That's okay, it happens. Like I said, it happens. I had my longest run on Sunday, which was tough at the end. Still proud of myself for taking down 5 gels, but yeah, I feel like I am excited for the taper. I thought this was the taper, but coach said 1 more week, so I'm just proud of myself for pushing through. Like, that's what's so important in these sessions. But yeah, but let's cool down because I am tired. It was definitely a tough session to do. My coach wanted me to aim for like a 5K pace, so I was sitting at around 6:30 minutes per mile. No, yeah, 6:30 minute per mile. That felt okay at the beginning, but towards the end, like the 6th, 7th, and 8th interval did not feel good anymore. And I feel like you'll see it in the clips, and it was also just like, I feel like we're at that time in London where springtime is just kind of all over the place. Like, you get a mix of wind, rain, sunshine, and so like I started with the top off, then I put the top back on, then the clouds came back out, and then the sunshine was back out. So it was just a lot of like faffing with a long sleeve, which, like, in all seriousness, I really just need to start wearing short sleeves, and I have so many short sleeve shirts. All of us, I'm sure, have so many of those race day tops that you get as like the finisher shirts of races. I really need to start using those, and this is my sign to start using those. But overall, it was a solid session. It just felt like a really hard effort, and as you can see by the splits, like over time I kind of just like lose the pace a bit, but overall my coach was happy with it, and I'm happy with it. I knew that it was a hard effort that I gave, and as I have mentioned in previous videos, hitting pace is not the end all be all, and it is not like the main aim of the game. What we are trying to do is just give a hard effort, and most of the training realistically we've now already done. Like, sitting where I am now, we are 15 days out from the London Marathon from the day that I'm recording this, and that's crazy. But like, I think that just going into the taper now, some important things to remember. Those are just some pigeons. 1, do not worry about losing fitness because you've done so much of the work. Don't worry, because like the thing is, your training, like the volume will go down, but the intensity should not. For example, I'm still going to have track sessions. I'm still going to be doing intervals and trying to hit certain paces. The volume that I've been doing is just going to decrease a little bit, but I am not going to be as bothered, and you shouldn't be bothered. And just in general, we shouldn't be so fixated on trying to hit pace when like doing a session or a workout, because at the end of the day, that is not an indicator of whether or not you can hit pace. Realistically, like, the difference between you training on tired legs now and not being able to hit pace and you going into race day, like having tapered, having fresh legs, and having fueled yourself properly, that is such a different story. And so I feel like those are just a couple of important things to remember with the taper. I know that a lot of us get the taper crazies and can just start to feel like, have I just lost all my fitness? Am I even going to be able to run a marathon? And I'm sitting here having run 7 marathons to tell you that you absolutely can, and it's going to be okay. The last thing that I wanted to share about and just chat about, we'll sort of go into a different video and talk about this more, is nutrition. So this is going to be something that I'm going to be drastically changing for this marathon, for my 8th marathon, in comparison to every other one. This comes off the back of having a conversation with a registered dietitian who is named Charlie Watson. He is better known as the Runner Beans, and I had her on my podcast, which by the time this video released might or may not be out, but if it is, I'll include it in the description box below. We just had a really good conversation about like the fact that so many people actually are under fueling, and I know that I've chatted a lot about weight gain during marathon training and fueling and the importance of fueling, but when it comes to actually like carb loading, first of all, should not just be like all in one day, the day before a marathon. It should be like in the days leading up to a marathon, and like ensuring that you are taking on like the proper amount of grams of carbs, and that all will be very specific measurement wise depending on like your weight and like your intensity of training. So I want to share some, like, I'll put some like slides on the screen from like pictures that I took from the chat that I went to at the Westin. It was the whole event and it was really lovely, and I'm so glad that Charlie invited me. It was just really interesting to learn just about how much carbohydrates you need, how important hydration is, just like how all of this truly feeds into race day. And I feel like I want to do a completely different video talking about race day strategy, because I also want to do a video like trying and attempting to have like 700 grams of carbs in one day. I want to do an entirely separate video on my race day strategy, fueling that is going to go into it, and really like the mathematics behind it. I actually did make a very controversial choice in purchasing a food scale. I know being someone with an eating disorder background seems odd. I feel like I'm at a point in my training where I really want to see if nutrition should, if it can, and I believe it will, take me to the next level of my racing and just overall training. I feel like I'm jabbering on, but I promise I think it'll be a much more interesting video when I kind of put that into perspective and like show you like a full day of eating 700 grams of carbs. For context, I am about 70 kilograms. The math on the screen that I just put previously should sort of help you calculate like how many grams of carbs you should have in the days. That's multiple days leading up to race day rather than just one solid day. So I'm going to do a whole separate video about that, talking about race day strategy, sharing a day of eating 700 grams of carbs just to kind of practice that and prep that and see what that feels like, see how that feels on my body, and what I want my race day strategy to look like fueling wise, whether I'm going to be taking the Morton 100s or the Morton 160s. Stay tuned. I'm going to be sharing all of that in a future video, but I wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you're already subscribed. If you're not, you should, because I come out with videos every single week. But make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and comment below any thoughts that you had, what you would like to see next from me and this channel. And yeah, there's not too many videos that we'll have before this series is basically over, because the London Marathon is 15 days away. But thank you so much if you've been tuning in to all of these videos. I've really enjoyed making these like episode like videos. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.